What is gratitude? We think of it as a warm feeling, a thank you, a kindness returned. But what if gratitude is a contract? What if the creatures we save do not just remember, they require? This is the story of a fisherman who pulled a drowning calf from a poacher's trap. He thought he was being merciful. He didn't know that the hippo herd would watch over him, protect him, feed his family. But the herd's protection came with a price. And the price was his soul. Azibo was a poor fisherman on the Lake Nyasa. He lived in a small village called Kisiwani, where the people feared the hippos, massive, unpredictable, known to capsize boats and crush anyone who came too close. Azibo knew the danger. He had lost his own father to a hippo attack when he was a child. But he also respected them. He kept his distance. He gave them space. One morning, while checking his nets, he heard a desperate squeal. He followed the sound and found a hippo calf, no more than a few weeks old, caught in a wire snare left by poachers. Its leg was bloody. Its mother was nowhere, probably killed for her tusks. Azibo knew he should leave it. A wounded calf would attract predators. It was nature's way. But he couldn't. He rowed closer, cut the wire with his knife, and pulled the calf into his boat. The calf stopped struggling. It looked at him with large, dark eyes and made a sound like a sigh. Azibo treated its wound with herbs, fed it milk from his own goats, and kept it hidden in a cove for 3 weeks until it was strong enough to swim. Then he released it into the river, where a passing herd accepted it back. He thought that was the end. It was only the beginning. The next morning, Azibo found his nets full of fish, more than he had caught in a month. The day after, the same. And the day after that. He began to notice hippos watching him from the water, not with aggression, but with something like attention. One evening, as he was rowing home, a storm blew in. His boat capsized. He was thrown into the churning water, unable to swim against the current. Then he felt something massive beneath him, a hippo, lifting him gently, carrying him to shore. It was the calf, grown now. Its herd surrounded him, keeping him safe until he reached dry land. The village marveled. The elders said Azibo had made a pact with the river spirits. He became a local legend. People came from far away to hear his story. But the herd's protection extended beyond Azibo. When poachers tried to enter the village at night, hippos emerged from the water and drove them away. When a crocodile attacked a child bathing, the hippos killed it before it could reach the shore. The villagers began to rely on the hippos. They stopped setting snares. They stopped fishing too close to the hippo grounds. They lived in a strange, peaceful harmony. Azibo, however, began to notice something wrong. The hippos were always watching. He felt their eyes on him even when he was far from the water. He dreamed of them, not as animals, but as something else, something older, something that spoke in his mind. One night, the matriarch of the herd, a massive female with a scarred face, appeared at the edge of his hut. She did not attack. She simply stood there, staring. Azibo felt a voice in his head, not words, but a knowing. You saved our calf. We have protected you. Now you owe us. Azibo tried to ask what they wanted, but the matriarch simply turned and slipped back into the water. He told the village elder, an old woman named Chanda, about the encounter. Chanda's face grew pale. Azibo, the hippos are not just animals. They are the keepers of the river's memory. They remember every kindness, every cruelty. When they say you owe them, they mean it. You must find out what they want before it's too late. Azibo spent days by the river, watching, waiting. Finally, the matriarch returned. This time, she came closer, pressing her massive head against his chest. The voice returned. Our calf was not the only one taken. The poachers took our children. They sell their teeth, their skin, their bones. You must stop them. Not by fighting, by showing them. Bring them here. Let us speak to them in our way. Azibo was horrified. He knew the poachers were dangerous men, armed and ruthless. But he also knew that if he refused, the herd might turn on the village. He agreed. Azibo found the poachers' camp, led by a man named Cato, who laughed when Azibo told him about the hippos. You want me to meet with animals? You're mad. Azibo insisted. He offered gold, the village's savings, if Cato would just come to the river. Greedy, Cato agreed. He brought his men, armed with rifles. They stood at the water's edge at dusk. The hippos emerged, dozens of them, silent, their eyes glowing in the fading light. Cato raised his gun. The matriarch stepped forward. She did not attack. She simply looked at him. And Cato began to scream. He fell to his knees, clutching his head. His men dropped their weapons, stumbling back. One by one, they collapsed, their eyes wide, their mouths open in silent terror. Azibo watched in horror as the poachers were emptied. Not killed. Their bodies remained, breathing, but their minds were gone. They stared at nothing, drooling, smiling. The matriarch turned to Azibo. They will not hunt again. They will not remember their crimes. They will live out their lives as children, harmless. This is our justice. This is the price of protection. Azibo looked at the hollow men and understood. The hippos had not just protected the village, they had judged the poachers. And their judgment was a fate worse than death. The village was divided. Some praised Azibo for ending the poaching threat. Others were terrified of the hippo's power. Chanda warned him that the herd's gratitude was becoming a hunger. They do not just want justice, Azibo. They want order. They want the river to be pure. And they will keep taking memories, taking wills, taking selves, until the river is clean. Azibo tried to distance himself from the hippos. He stopped fishing. He moved his hut inland. But they followed. He saw their eyes in every puddle, their shapes in every shadow. One night, his wife, Asha, shook him awake. Azibo, you were talking in your sleep. You said, I am the river now. I am the herd. Azibo looked at his hands. They seemed rougher, wider, the skin thickening like a hippo's hide. He went to the river at dawn. The matriarch was waiting. You are changing, she said. You saved our calf. You became part of us. Now you must choose, become fully ours, live in the water, protect the river, judge the wicked, or refuse, and we will take what we have given. Your fish, your safety, your wife's memory of you. Everything. Azibo wept. I only wanted to help. And you have. But help is a chain. You are bound to us now. The only question is whether you wear the chain willingly. Azibo looked back at the village, at Asha standing on the shore, at the life he had built. He thought of the calf he had saved, the years of protection, the poachers' empty faces. He made his choice. I will stay, he said. I will be your guardian on land. I will watch the river. I will remember the old ways. But I will not become one of you. I will keep my humanity. That is my part of the bargain. The matriarch was silent. Then she nodded. Agreed. You will be the bridge. You will speak for us to the villagers, and for the villagers to us. You will grow old here, on the shore, never leaving. Your feet will touch the water every day. And when you die, you will become part of the river, not a hippo, but a memory. A voice. A warning. Azibo accepted. He built a small hut on the riverbank, exactly where he had found the calf. He lived there for decades, never leaving. He became the village's spirit talker, the one who communicated with the hippos, who warned of storms, who told the stories. Asha stayed with him until she died. Their children visited, but they never understood why their father would not leave the water. When Azibo finally died, old and weathered, the villagers found his body sitting upright, facing the river, a peaceful smile on his face. The hippos gathered that night. They did not mourn. They simply watched. And as the sun rose, Azibo's body was gone. In its place, a single hippo calf stood on the shore, blinking at the village. It was healthy, strong, and unafraid. The herd accepted it. And the cycle began again. Azibo saved a calf and gained a herd. But he also gained a debt he could never repay. His story teaches us that kindness to the wild is never simple. The creatures we save may save us in return, but they may also claim us. The river gives, and the river takes. And the hippos, the old ones, remember every promise. They do not forget. They do not forgive. They only collect. But what do you think? Was Azibo's act of mercy worth the cost? Could he have refused the herd's protection? And what would you do if the animal you saved began to ask for more than you could give? Let me know in the comments below. The hippos still watch from the depths. The calf still wanders the shore. And somewhere, a fisherman's spirit swims with the herd, waiting for the next act of kindness to bind another soul. If tales of wild bargains and their consequences haunt you, you cannot miss a grandmother's bedtime stories were actually encoded maps to a sacred site. The link is on the screen right now. Don't forget to subscribe for more original, chilling tales from the Safari of Tales. We follow the currents where they lead. Until next time, be careful what you pull from the water. It might pull you back.